students, I am Dr. Rohini Aryabama from Government College Pusor, Raigarh. In the earlier part of this video, you have listened the different aspects of the novel The Guide by R.K. Narayan, and in this video, I am going to deal with the character of Rosie. Rosie is one of the main characters of the novel The Guide. Narayan portrays the character of Rosie as a typical Indian woman who loves her husband despite his entire fault and always feels proud of her husband. Rosie is an educated woman. She is an MA in economics. She is a beautiful dancer. Rosie is an attractive young wife of Marco, but her marriage has been like a curse in disguise to her, as Marco is totally apathetic and unemotional to her. She is very passionate about dancing, but her husband does not allow her to dance. Rosie is the daughter of a dancer and therefore belongs to a lower caste. She did not marry Marco out of love but because of his social status. Though she is fond of dancing, she sets it aside when married to Marco because he does not approve. Their marriage is not very much pleasant. Now, Rosie-Marco relationship. Her husband Marco is an archaeologist by profession and is completely dedicated to his work. He also seems to be more interested in the sculptures on the walls and stones in the caves than his wife, who is more lively, realistic, and an embodiment of the art of dance. Rosie, on the other hand, is a loving and devoted wife who ensures that her husband is given enough care, support, and love. She takes pride in doing little things for her husband, like serving food and taking care of his needs. She also appreciates the fact that he gives her freedom, financial security, and also social status, and constantly expresses her gratitude to Marco for marrying her despite knowing her background. Marco never accepts Rosie's talent as a dance and completely ignores her keen desire to continue her career in dance and insults her terribly by commenting, as acrobat on a trapeze goes on doing the same thing all his life. Well, your dance is like that. You repeat your tricks all your life. He calls Rosie's dancing skills as street acrobatics and compares it to a monkey's performance. She knows well that Marco completely disapproves of her passion for dance, but she still remains unperturbed and displays tremendous attitude of subservience. Her emotional attachment and sense of duty towards Marco is clearly depicted when she carries her husband's book so dearly and sticks a picture of his on the mirror. Her passion for dance. The young and beautiful wife of Marco and love object of Raju, Rosie's most striking quality is her immense genius for dance, most clearly manifested in the serpent dance. She performs only on rare occasions. Descended from a poor lower caste family who have traditionally devoted themselves to the art of temple dancing, Rosie, in spite of her own passion for dance, attempts to escape the constraints of her caste and poverty by marrying a wealthy, educated upper caste man, and yet rather than providing Rosie with deliverance, the man with whom she becomes entangled inevitably attempts to repress her creativity and independence. Not only does Marco condemn and ban Raju's pursuit of dance, but Raju, with whom she commences an affair soon after she arrives in Malguri with her husband, also lets her down. While Raju genuinely supports and encourages Rosie's pursuit of her art at first, but once she achieves fame as a dancer, Nalini, He begins to exploit her success in his role as her manager to enrich himself. Not only that, but Raju repeatedly lies to and deceives Rosie. He attempts to control and contact with others because of his jealousy. She is a free-spirited and a brilliant girl. Her artistic and feminine powers are such that by the end of the novel she has discarded the chains that both men have sought to confine her in, and is outshining both as a free and independent woman, successful beyond measure. Her complete devotion for art. Rosie is totally dedicated to her art. She also studies the ancient works of art such as Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra, and even employs a pandit to interpret the old Sanskrit verses. She also looks for ideas in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, which shows her keen observation and thirst to learn the nuances of art. She is modest, and her commitment to the Indian classical dance is impeccable. Rosie's belief for art. Rosie also firmly believes that the art of dance not only paves the way to achieve spiritual sanctity but also help in gaining an identity. Even after reaching peak of success, Rosie remains modest because of her profound love for dance. Now, Rosie Raju relationship. Raju, the another important character of the novel, he falls in love with Rosie at first sight. She also loves Raju. Her giving way to Raju is understandable. She might have resisted her physical urge if her husband had been less kind and considerate, but his inhuman coldness, Raju's evident admiration and opportunity so conveniently provided her that she got a chance to be attached with Raju. Raju cares Rosie's passion for dance. As soon as she sets her foot on Malguri railway station, she asks Raju if a live dancing cobra was to be seen in the city. Raju, who never said no to anyone, at once he says that there was such a cobra. He searches for it and takes her out to see in the very next day. She is thrilled to see its dance, and herself dances with it. She is attracted towards Raju. Raju wins Rosie's heart because he takes interest in her art, while her husband hates it. Raju wins her heart and seduces her by flattering and paying her bold compliments. For example, one day, soon after their arrival in Malguri, Margot offers to bring her from her hotel room as the husband waits outside in the car. He has the audacity to tell her to come out as she was without changing her dress and adds, "Who would decorate a rainbow?" Her reluctance gives him another opportunity to whisper, "Because life is so blank without your presence." The husband is engaged more and more in the study of dead and decaying things, leaving Raju to take care of his wife. The result is that soon Raju is able to win her over, and many are the nights of love they pass together in their hotel room as the husband stays on in the rest house on Mampi Hills. Change in Raju-Rosie relationship. Rosie is aware of Raju's crafty nature but is committed to her relationship and offers support when she comes to know of his forgery. Though Rosie is disillusioned with Raju because of his fraudulent act, Rosie cares for Raju. She is determined to pull Raju out of his predicament by trying all means and manage to perform without helping and earn money to pay the lawyer's fee. She is grateful to Raju for providing a platform to showcase as her talent and giving her the required break to reach the skies. Now, tolerance power of Rosie. Rosie's tremendous tolerance power and optimistic attitude is appreciable when her husband comes to know of his wife's affairs with Raju. When she describes that he became very upset and didn't talk to her and completely ignored her presence. She says, I followed him day and day like a dog petting on his grace. She follows him up and down the peak house to the caves continuously for 30 days, but all her effort failed to win him back when he does not forgive her. Marco's departure for Madras. The final blows comes when at the time of departure for Madras at the Malgudi railway station, Margot leaves her saying that he has only one ticket for himself. Rosie's tolerance power can be seen in all over the novel. Rosie is also tolerant with Raju's mother and loves to help her with daily works, though she does not take to her kindly. In the beginning, she suffers all the insults but never complains and tries to take things in her stride. Feminist perspective. Feminism is a belief that women should have the same rights and opportunities as men. Narayan's delineation of female figure, Rosie, reflects the all aspects of feminism. The Guide is Narayan's most famous novel in which he portrays the character of a woman who defies almost all traditional code for women and comes out full way to establish herself as a human being. Rosie in The Guide is successful in her mission. She gets her freedom and moves all over India alone doing her own work. Rosie, an MA in economics, challenges the orthodox Hindu concept of what a woman should be. She leaves her husband, who shows his apathy and indifference towards her feelings, and moves out of the walls of his family on a path usually uncharted for women in an Indian society. The author portrays her character with all his sympathy, exposing the hypocrisy of the patriarchal society and showing how miserable the condition of even a highly educated woman who was in that society, and at the same time showing women gradually getting conscious of their personalities and demands. Rosie gives more importance to the gratification of her personal interest than to the observation of social codes for women. She ignores the taboos and other social practices that thwart her independence and moves on in her own way with her back to the society's reaction and criticism. Her husband appears to her wanting passion and love and time for her. She enjoyed the company of Raju, walking with him all over Malgudi and its surrounding sites, sitting with him beside the river Saryu in evening and even indulging him in a closed room. Rosie first walk over Indians' time honored tradition by ignoring the established custom of matching horoscopes and caste for marriage, where it is a practice held to be sacred in Hinduism. But Rosie marries one archaeologist husband who no matching of her horoscope and no consideration of caste. Rosie said in this novel, I had myself photographed clutching the scroll of the university citation in one hand and sent it to the advertisement. Well, we met. He examined me and my certificate. We went to a registrar and got married. Next is the author's portraits of the character of Rosie, further questions the position of women and exposes the cruelty and inhumanity of the male-dominated Indian society. Rosie is an educated woman, but her education fails to promote her status and gives her a better position in the society. As she said in the novel, we are viewed as public women. We are not considered respectable. We are not considered as civilized. Even Marco wants to raise her as a puppet, as if she were an illiterate woman and unable to understand anything. Thus, the society was blind and could not see any difference between an MA passed Rosie and an illiterate woman. Rosie finally comes out of the society that treats women as dolls and tries to stand on her own feet. By throwing both Marco and Rosie away from her life, Rosie strongly defies the well-defined place of women in a Malguri, where a woman is never allowed to go on her own way but is made to remain puppet. An inner strength, until unseen and undiscovered by herself, leads her to soar so far out of Marco's and even Raju's reach that neither Raju nor Marco can control her. Raju at last comprehends that she would never stop dancing, where I was inside the bars or outside, whether her husband approved of it or not. Neither Marco nor I had any place in her life, which had its own sustaining vitality and which she herself had underestimated all along. All these facts lead a general statement that yet Rosie is a feminist, though a moderate one. Now, conclusion. Rosie's character undergoes a slow but steady transformation from a traditional Indian woman to an assertive individual who tries to carve a niche for herself. Though Rosie is shadowed by two important people in her life. She moves from strength to strength with her zeal, commitment, and self-confidence to prove that her unrelenting passion has enabled her to pursue her dream. And this is all about the character of Rosie.